Hello, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, and this is Donald Trump talk. And I'll ask you to excuse the noise in the video because it may come from the yelling of the kids in the church playground next door. Church school playground, that is. Well, we had another terrorist attack in Manchester, and already people are saying, is this the new normal? That we have to go and live our lives if this terrorists are going to pop up everywhere? And this afternoon, the guest host on Tom Sullivan's radio show on Fox says, is this the new normal? And he talked about coming into Manhattan and seeing 3 policemen, fully armed with vests, in the subway station at 42nd Street. Then he gets out to Times Square, there's 6 policemen. Well, maybe this guy had noticed, but the New York police are ready for bear. Of course, it didn't stop a maniac from running down one person and killing her or him. I didn't read the details of the story except that one was killed and a number were injured in that area last week. Nor will it stop these people that do bombings at concerts. If we make it look like we are going to live in terror all the time, then the terrorists win. I do have a couple of questions, though. Why, since the Saudis funded 9/11, since the Saudis have funded terrorism for years, why are we giving them $380 billion? And they're giving us back money to build our infrastructure? Now, who is threatening the Saudis? Radical Islamists or Iran? Because they already have an army, they have an air force. I don't know if the Saudis have a navy. I haven't had the time to look. But who's a threat to Saudi Arabia? Or is it an internal threat? They want to suppress their own people like the Syrian dictator Assad has in Syria. That's my question. Here we have VA centers falling apart, our roads and bridges falling apart, potholes all over the place. People dying in the streets because they're homeless and they have nowhere to live and no food, and yet we're giving $380 billion to people who have paid to attack us. And the other question I have is, every time we find one of these people after they've done the deed, the news reports say they were on the radar of international terrorism experts or agencies. Well, if they're on the radar, why aren't these guys under arrest? And they have the father who said, my son would never do this, you got the wrong guy. Well, I'm quite sure there's enough DNA evidence with this guy. They found out who he was right away. The father was giving a talk on television. They arrested him while he was on TV. And he has ties to a Libyan extremist group that was trying to kill Muammar Gaddafi. And that group, while it disbanded, is a direct offshoot or part of what founded Al-Qaeda. So you tell me that these guys always claim innocence after the fact. And singer Morrisey of Britain, I never heard about him until today. I saw it on Fox. He says the British Prime Minister will not tell the truth, that these are radical extremist terrorists. Not just one single radical extremist. We already see where the father and other members of his family were arrested. They have ties to Libyan terrorism, and they have ties to Al-Qaeda. But like so many liberals out there, and this man speaks the truth, they will not use the words radical Islamic terrorist. They rant and rave about homophobia, xenophobia, sexism, animal abuse, cruelty. But people who want to blow the British up, the French up, the Belgians up, the Germans up, people in Africa up, Indonesia, Italy, India, oh no, we can't go after them. We can't talk about them. They're disgruntled. There's even a story on Fox saying that all of this extremism is because of poverty in the Muslim world. Well, I got news for you, pal. There's poverty in the Muslim world and the Islamic world because they have stagnated since the year 1200. They haven't gone forward with anything. They're living in the past. Now, I started reading a book on the Talmud, and it's a book on the Talmud, not the Talmud itself. And it's very hard going. I've never read the Talmud before. And we, in my religion, look at the past, but we also look at the future. Compare Israel to the Gaza. Compare Israel to refugee slum camps in Lebanon that do not need to exist. All the people would have to go back to their home countries, and they could live in peace. But they don't want to do that because they're pissed off at somebody, whether it's someone in their family got bombed by a bomb or a missile, or just they're mad at somebody, and they use the United States or the West as their excuse to commit terror. These guys are people that 100, 200 years ago would have taken out and gotten shot or hung or beaten to death in a town square or run out of town or rail after being tarred and feathered or locked up in an insane asylum. But they get away with this partly because they've got the internet. And they can say and do whatever they want with impunity, and they have other people helping them in every city and probably in the world. And liberalism excuses it all. Now, the only thing that's going to stop this is enough people say, enough. We need to stop this. We're not doing it as a society. We're not doing it in the West enough. And we're not demanding it of our politicians. Quit kissing ass. Quit making excuses. Quit coming up with BS reasons why these people are doing what they're doing. They're terrorists. We don't need to know their reasons. All we need to do is go out, seek them, and either arrest them, kill them, or destroy them and their networks. That's what we need to do. Enough is enough. All right, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Have a great day and stay safe out there. Bye-bye.